we're going to go ahead today and we're going to install this mount on here because it's going to hold this rod holder, or this right here happens to be a GoPro mount. So it'll hold either one. Actually, it'll hold any Scotty mount. Okay, before we glue this on, there are 4 nuts that we want to make sure are installed on this plate before this gets glued down. The other thing we want to do is this is going to be the mounting plate. So the mounting plate is going to get screwed onto here. Now they're going to give us 2 sets of screws, a shorter set and a longer set. Now the shorter set, well, we can tell they're not going to work with this mount. So it looks like it's going to be the longer set. So we'll drop that in there, and we can see that it sticks out a little bit. So we want to go ahead and tighten this down because we want to make sure that when this is tight, the screw is not sticking out past that nut. So there it is, and it's well in there. It's probably a good 1/8 of an inch setback. If the screw was too long, you can imagine it's going to then stick out past this and actually put pressure against the plastic and eventually rub through it and create a leak. This is the mount. It's a soft rubber mount, and it's made for an inflatable, which this is an inflatable paddleboard. We're going to get it installed right there. Let's get on it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to kind of get this thing centered up. That's actually pretty darn close. These lines aren't perfect. This thing was made in China, so it can only be so much. But I think that's pretty much where we're looking to put it. Now, so we'll call that the center. And then we can move it forward or back. I mean, we can even put it back here. It's debatable as to where we want to put it. The further back we put this thing, might get into what we're going to put something on here. I think if we keep it up here, it's going to be a little bit better because it's just going to give us more room on the board. And we're not too much of a curve here yet. So I would probably say we're going to put this thing right about there. Now that we got this in position, I'm going to use this blue tape, and I'm going to go around where we're going to mount this. I'm just going to try to keep the glue a little neater. Not that it matters a whole lot. This is our paddle board that we're just using to experiment with. This is the one, if you remember back a few months ago, we patched because it was leaking. So we got the patch on here, and patch is holding, which is good. We were successful with that one. Now we're going to go ahead and install this, and then if this works out well, we are going to put the live bait cooler on the back of this. So we'll have a rod holder in the front, the live bait cooler in the back with additional rod holders on it. Now, that is where we're going. So what we need to do now is rough this up. Okay, next we need to clean the surface. To do that, we're going to use some alcohol. So we got just some standard rubbing alcohol. These aren't easy to get hold of. Really what we're trying to do here is get rid of course, any of the dust and any soap or anything that oil or anything from your sweat that might be on this that would prevent it from sticking. And of course on this, you know, there could be some oils from manufacturing. All right, we'll give that a second to dry. And we'll get our contact cement. Try not to make too much of a mess here. So we're just gonna go ahead and get this contact cement. We got it open. There is a brush in the can. And we're just going to go ahead and paint this on. And then let it set. They say between 3 and 5 minutes. We'll probably do 3 coats on here. Okay, start the clock on that one. Okay, we're going to wait 3 to 5 minutes. We'll be right back. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and put another coat on here. I'm just trying to get this as even as I can. And I'm hoping I don't end up gluing this blue tape down. The main thing is you don't want to end up on any dry spots, because dry spots won't stick. Okay, we're going to give this another 5 minutes, put the last coat on, and we'll stick this thing together. Okay, here's our third coat, third and final coat it looks like, because it looks like we're pretty even. really want to make sure I get this good and heavy around the edges. And we can see this right here looks pretty shiny. Of course, over on the edge is where it looks like it's the worst, or the least amount of shine. But there's a lot of surface area to grab a hold of here. Just when you're going to have a rod on here, you get a big fish on there pulling on it, don't want it coming apart. Now this is contact cement, so once this dries and it comes into contact with the other side, it reactivates, and that's what really makes it stick. So we're going to give this a last 3 to 5 minutes and stick it together. Okay, that's our last 5 minutes. So we are going to try to get this in the exact spot. It looks pretty close. So now we're going to push it down and all the way around. Slide this down a little bit, because we really want this thing to bond well. And let's see if we can actually, whoop. Looks like it peeled off pretty good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we'll let this sit now overnight. I'll put some weight on it and see how it does in the morning. Okay, so it's been 24 hours and this is on. So it's ready now for our rod holder. Just got to find that keyway. Ready for the rod holder. Ready for a fishing rod. Goes right in there. You can actually bring this around. And this rod holder locks in, so this can't come out. That's all set. A couple other options that we have for this right now is pull this out, find that key, pull this off. So I have the GoPro mount, which I showed you last time. And this right here, it has one of those little slides for the GoPro mount, or you can use quarter 20. It's got a quarter 20. But that's the same thing. Stick it in, find that little key, wherever it may be. There it is. Position this however you want it. Lock it in. Now, one other one that we bought for this that we thought we may be able to use, and well, we won't know until we actually use it. Is this mount. This is an extension mount. So find our key again, and we can lock that in. Now this, if you're standing up on the paddleboard, this is going to get you a lot closer to your rod. The other thing that's nice about it, this here rod's going to be like this. If you're standing back here, you can just reach up and grab this off a lot easier than going all the way down. But then you can also lift this up, do this without hitting the camera, which isn't going to really happen. But put this off to the side. And now, even if you're sitting back here paddling, you control with this setup. That line's going to be well off to your side. If you do happen to get a bite, again, you can just reach up, and because it's elevated, I think it's going to be a little easier to be able to grab. So next time, what we're planning on doing is we're going to use these to put this on the back. Now, this is a, you may have seen this before with some of the kayak stuff we do, but this is a live beat cooler. All right, so it's got this nice net that you can pick your bait out. The shrimp love this thing. They hold right onto it. Got your little pump in there. This can hold 4 extra poles. And if you want to, you can actually even lean against this thing while you're paddling. Or you can sit on it. So that is a really handy thing. And we're going to use these. We're going to figure out how to get these things on here. And we'll be able to run our cords across here to hold this thing on, just like you would on the front. And well, we'll see if we can figure it out. Until next time, thanks for watching this video. Go ahead and share this if you know somebody that has a stand-up paddleboard that wants to do some fishing on it. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. That helps a lot. And we will see you next time. Thank you. And just in case you're wondering, how come I take this thing out on the water and show you how it works on the water? It's a little cold right now in Florida. How cold? Let me show you. Yeah, it's socks with Crocs cold. See you next time. Thanks.